Hello and welcome to Real Weird Sickos. My name is Tom Videogre, and I hope you're having a terrific day, as we're having a terrific day as well. And do you know who starts a terrific day off? It's my good friend, Mr. Charles Khan. Charles, what's popping in your neighborhood, brother?
Well, brother, let me tell you what's terrific in my world, brother. I'm out here being a bastard, talking trash, letting everybody know exactly what time it is. If you think you can just skate by without my commentary, how dare you?
Oh, I wouldn't think of it. I wouldn't dream of it, matey.
How dare you?
I wouldn't dream of it, matey. But you know who's always dreaming about something funny? It's our good friend, Doe Jangles. Jen, what's popping, maybe?
I always dream about penis, and penis is funny.
Just let that hang for a minute.
That felt
Just
like
let
it
that
hung
hang.
for
Just let, all right, I'll sandbag it.
that hung for an eternity.
That
I
silence
purpose,
really
I know.
sealed the joke, though, I think.
That's one well-hung penis.
Exactly. And I know somebody who is always on the topic of the docket. It's our good friend, today's guest, Slush. Slush, matey, how you doing, matey?
I'm doing terrific, guys. Thank you for having me. Excited to be
pleasure
here.
having
Long
you,
time
mate.
coming, long time coming.
Oh, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
I think on the docket, as soon as we started it was like, yeah, Slush.
Yeah.
Gotta get him.
And we had tried
Absolutely.
before, but we had to reschedule. And then he was drunk last week, so I DM'd him when he was drunk to kind of like try to seal the deal. I was like, he's
See, that
drunk.
would've been
I
the
could
best
get him to
time.
say yes, and he did. Yes.
Yeah, you got me during my birthday party.
Did I really during the
birthday.
actual birthday
Yeah.
party? Oh shit!
Yeah.
So you were really feeling good. Okay.
Oh yeah, it was a great
So he's
time.
blowing out the candles and
I
Jen's
just was. I saw
pressuring
your
him into
tweets
coming
and
on
I
our
was
show.
like, he's drunk, going for the kill.
What was I tweeting? I don't even remember.
Nobody were drunk. That's all I remember.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no,
Yes.
I'm very happy to finally be here, like 2 months later after attempting
But
like
it's-
forever ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, getting time schedules are so scuffed these days,
They
matey.
really
I
are.
don't pretend like it's not an absolute fucking
and
hurdle.
trying to coordinate different time zones. Like that's because Tom's all the way in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you just say Australia?
And getting up
I
earlier
feel
to record
like-
this. You know, fresh in. I fresh
Well, you
up.
know, that's what we call it up
Australia.
Australia.
here in West Virginia.
West Virginia.
You're all in different time zones, right? Like all three of you?
Yeah. I'm Pacific. Charles
Trifecta.
is Eastern, and Tom is.
Melbourne.
I don't.
Australian Eastern
Tom
Standard
is
Time.
boomerang.
It's
Boomerang
what is
Standard
yours
Time.
called, Tom? I don't even know what that's fucking called.
Sorry, it's Australian Eastern Standard Time, which should be Eastern Australian Standard Time to make the word East. But they fucked
upside
it
down,
up.
Yeah, that's
upside
Kiwi
down,
time.
boo time.
Can he be on Kiwi time? Hi, I'm in New Zealand. I'm 2 hours behind Australia.
Oh, no, 2 hours in front. New
Hello
Zealand,
there.
New Zealand's the first. New Zealand's the first to cross over. But actually, that's
Man.
a great topic to mention on. What's the weirdest?
Hello from New Zealand.
What's the weirdest time for you, Slush? Like throughout an entire day, what's the weirdest shit happening at a certain time? What's the weird hour for you?
The weird hour. It's probably
Yeah.
it's got to be
weird
like
hour.
around like 2, 3 in the morning. Because I'm first of all I'm a fucking
Agreed.
degenerate, so I'm always up at that time. And
Absolutely.
well, like yesterday at 3 in the morning, I was on Discord with one of my friends, and for some reason I decided it would be a great idea to turn the camera on and put my hand in front of the camera like a first-person shooter game, and like grab. I found a magic wand, and I was just like doing like cheesy Harry Potter spells in my house.
Hello, I'm Harry Potter.
But you know what?
I'm going to cast some spells.
By doing that, because I'm in my parents' house, I came across this book written in 1989 called "The History of the Future," and it has
Whoa.
predictions for the year 2000 to the year 3000.
Were they right?
And I was reading
Whoa.
it, and listen to this.
Did it predict a
It
pandemic?
did. It fucking did. Listen to this. Okay, I'm gonna open up to the page.
Oh hell
Dude, how
yeah!
have you
I
not
love
done a video on
this.
this?
I know,
I just
right?
found out
How
last
you-
night. I just found out last. I'm already thinking about doing a video.
Yes.
Listen to this.
Oh, this is going.
2020, the genetic catastrophe, when man
Ooh.
meddles in unknown
Oh.
business. Also 2020, world government experiments
Fuck.
Mhm.
Fuck.
and global
Holy
finance.
shit.
It's like way too on point,
We
dude.
all know about ping pong cough.
Man's disease.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't know. This book, I'm very excited to. I'm honestly gonna probably make a video on it because it's just so fucking
Oh.
crazy.
It's almost
Absolutely.
sounds like the
Nostradamus.
sports like almanac from fucking Back to the
Yes!
Future.
Back to
It
the
actually is. That's what I was thinking when I found it. And I was like, oh my god, like, did I just find
Biff
like
and Biff
gold?
accidentally left it for you.
Yeah.
The history
It's
almanac.
fun. some of my favorite like conspiracy crank content is the Nostradamus guys.
Yeah.
The guys who want to go on and on about, oh man, Nostradamus predicted Hitler. He predicted 9/11. He predicted JFK. He predicted everything.
The Simpsons did all of that.
Simpsons did it.
Did Nostradamus predict me wiping my ass?
He did.
No.
He did.
Well, Historian's video.
It was written.
Historian's video was the fucking about the whole end of the world shit, and like the celebration when the world did not end, surrounded by that one, like that one guy who was believing in the church, and everyone around was just cheering that, oh, we're not dead. Proves it to a T. It's like you cannot prove the end of the world because you won't have any fun with it. Exactly. You won't get to celebrate because you'll be dead.
All you have
So
to
you might as
do
well
is watch a compilation on YouTube of how many times the Simpsons have predicted shit just accidentally because they've been on TV for fucking 30 years. And it's like they predicted the end of Game of Thrones.
They did?
Remember the Asian guys coughing into boxes and then they box it up and the Simpsons got Hong Kong flu?
Yeah.
They fucking did.
I want to say that's what they called it. Was Hong
No, it
Kong
was like
flu.
it was like some Japanese name. I remember.
Yeah,
it was in Japan.
Yeah, it was. It was. It wasn't. Yeah, you're right. It was Japan.
I remember they had a picture of Godzilla. He had the little ice bag on his head, the temperature thing in his mouth.
Yeah. Oh man.
So I'm looking at the Game of Thrones thing that you talked about. Apparently, it was 2 years off from the finale. What the fuck?
Yeah, and it was.
They predicted that the girl would
the
be
dragon, like almost like identically, just like burning down a town, burning down like a fucking village, like almost in the exact same way. So
Well, that's what everybody wanted to see. Everybody wanted to see for 10 years when that show was on. We're like, we want to see these little dragons turn into big F-off dragons, and we want to see them burn the shit out of everybody. Like I had a friend. She didn't give a shit about any of the plot on the show. She just wanted to see the dragon.
It's like that South Park.
All she cared about.
When they have George R.R. Martin, they're like, "Oh, there's gonna be dragons. They're gonna be really big. They're gonna be great, and there's gonna be wieners everywhere."
You know what I was thinking about today, and I'm actually really, really pissed off because they haven't actually officially started a new season of South Park, which means no Halloween South Park.
Oh yeah,
that really makes me.
They're doing
mad.
the weirdest thing in the world with that, Jen. Is that they did the
pandemic special.
Those were great.
Did the vaccination special, and they were wonderful. But like,
right then, now it got announced that they're going to move to the Paramount Network. So they had already had a deal. Yeah. It's really like the rights to South Park Online are crazy. The boys had decided they wanted all episodes of South Park to be freely available online, so that they didn't have to go on their own stuff.
They had
it was like South Park Studios
from the beginning, almost from the beginning of the show.
Yeah. Then the bastards went and they made a deal with Hulu, so the stuff got roped in with Hulu, and then Hulu started charging people. So they've been in bed with Hulu, HBO, and now moving to Paramount.
And also, it's actually Netflix in Australia for me. Like I could watch South Park, not a lot of it. I could watch first season, best of, and then season 20 to 22.
There's really no reason to have Hulu anymore because now like Seinfeld is going. I take that back. King of the Hill. You can keep Hulu because King of the Hill. That's the only place that's.
See, Hulu's got Cowboy Bebop.
But
they got Cowboy Bebop.
Seinfeld.
I watched Cowboy
like 2
Bebop
months ago, and I think like. I don't know if it already started on Netflix, but it's coming to Netflix, I think, before the end of this month.
I will double check.
Seinfeld?
But Jen, I do have to ask you something very quickly. Can you do the impersonation? The King of the Hill impersonation that everyone loves.
Oh,
I need to hear it.
I've been like burping like crazy, and you're going to make me do Peggy?
I know, matey, but you'll nail it all the same.
Oh, God, I have to... Okay,
I'll do mine after.
Okay, good.
Absolutely, yes. There we go, dueling one.
Substitute Spanish Teacher of the Year, 1996. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was good.
That wasn't that great.
That's so good.
Yeah, I have to do it like... Okay, now do yours. Do yours.
Yeah, when he gets going on it, he does it very well.
Too. And I can Shug. I'm just going to go to John Redcorn's. It's okay, Shug. I have a migraine.
I could just walk around saying, "Hey, Dad," over and over again. Hey, Dad.
You want to see what I can do, Dad? I can't do.
Wait, Jen. Can you say one of my favorite Nancy lines is like when she goes, "No shaw, Shug."
No shaw. everything about
I can't do it right
Dale
now.
and Rusty Shackleford, his whole character. There's something that is the funniest shit in the world to me about a guy who lives for conspiracy theories, who lives for it, and his wife is nailing the guy doing her migraine treatments for however many
and
years,
has no
years,
idea that
right
his son doesn't
nose.
look any fucking thing like him. Joseph,
Well, he had a
play with
grandmother.
Joseph.
He had a Jamaican grandmother. The best part, I'll tell you, the real best part.
Wait.
Is that Dale loves that boy? That boy is the apple of his eye, and John Redcorn has
Sam was gonna do an
relationship with him.
impression.
He got
Oh,
cut.
that's right.
Don't tell us.
Hey, me. Come look at Hillbilly. Thank you. That's my con.
Ah, Con. Good to see you.
Oh, Peggy. Peggy Hill got big feet. Oh, Peggy.
It's like little girl in mommy's shoes.
My wife has large feet.
We moved from Anaheim for this?
God, yeah.
Seriously? Like, I don't tire of it. Like, a lot of people will watch shit like that and just get, like, sick of it, but I don't. I really don't.
They're just comfort shows.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because I think it had quite the same with Futurama. Futurama was that comfort show to me.
Well, Futurama, even though it's set in the future, it's a lot of, like, well, we all know the spoiled rich character that thinks that's just entitled to everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We all know that person. We all know he's a slacker, but, he's got a heart of gold, and he's a good dude, but, man, he's such a bum.
Absolutely.
Or the lovable robot that just drinks everybody. Everybody knows that guy.
Sometimes I'll see. That's only if I drink enough. It is. But
you'll tell people to kiss your shiny metal ass.
I never got like super duper into Futurama.
Understandable.
There's more bad Futurama than good.
I don't know what it was, but I never got really into it. But it's just like today, all the animated shows, they suck. They're ugly.
Yeah.
They're ugly.
Yeah.
They're ugly as fuck.
The
Rick and Morty abortions.
So I love fantasy shit. I can't even remember the name of the Simpsons thing on Netflix.
Disenchanted.
It's fantasy.
Disenchanted.
Disenchanted.
I never got
That's
into
not
it.
bad, actually.
It is.
I gave it a chance.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not bad, but it's not.
It's
good.
not that
Absolutely.
funny.
It's not good.
It's not that funny.
Yeah.
It's not. You're right.
They're doing. It's a little too much of the Netflix thing of, oh, hey, you've got to, like, here's a cliffhanger, and they're never gonna get. Oh, well, in the first 5 minutes, they totally get back to normal.
Yeah.
Like, it's all fine.
I think
they do too much of that.
I think it's ironically going to be a cult classic because people are not going to watch it for a long time. Like, it'll be like 5 years from now from anyone who's going to give a shit about it. Ironically,
anything that's just comfortable in itself, and they can just take a really stupid gag and make it into something like Homer and his flags. Remember, I think it was like around probably like what's more like season like 7, 8. Where Homer had a flag for everything that they did on The Simpsons. They went to Circus Soleil and he had like French circus and that was literally probably one of my favorite running gags on that show. Even though it only lasted for like maybe like a couple of years, still one of my favorites. So I mean, okay, so Sam, because we have plans to talk about shit.
All right.
Best
gangs up,
era of The Simpsons and top 3.
Top three what?
Episodes. That's hard as shit.
That's fucking hard.
That's fucking really hard.
Obviously, you don't have to know names.
I can do the top 3 right off the top of my head, brother. Treehouse of Terror, the one with the zombies. That's in the top running. Frank Grimes, that's got to be one of the big ones. And I'll take I really like the one, the Treehouse of Horror with Homer and the Toaster. Okay. That was a good one.
The time travel.
Good year. There you go. There's 3 off the top of my head.
That's my favorite Treehouse.
My favorite Treehouse
stuck in the toaster again.
Is Willie getting an axe in
it's
all
the same one.
Same one. The Shining.
Yeah. I ain't got time to tell you, boy.
I love it.
That
actually is the same one. The toaster one. That is actually one.
James Earl Jones.
Like Maggie's eyes twitching.
It's the Shining. It's the Shining, the toaster, and what's the third one?
The kids eating at the school.
Oh yeah,
that's the cannibal, the big blind.
Something will surely come along and save us, Simpson children.
Yeah, they just burn.
All you have to worry about is that gas.
The ending of that one with the gas.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh,
it's seeping in.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then Willie's getting destroyed by the dog. Yeah.
Who does the dog drag off?
Willie. It's Willie.
Okay.
Willie's just abused the whole episode.
So
no, the dog was eating Bart's intestines.
Where would that
the
rank
lyric
for you, Sam?
That episode?
Yeah.
Like it's hard to put a number on it, but it's definitely one of my favorite episodes.
Yes.
Frank Grimes. How you feel about Frank?
Also one of my favorite episodes.
Yes.
Ooh, Monorail.
My favorite line in the Frank Grimes episode is like when he's like, "You went to space? Yeah, you've never been?"
I know. And it's just like he has this amazing fucking life. And then like Frank is
live underneath a bowling alley. Or like, I live above a bowling alley beneath another bowling alley.
A bowling alley.
And Homer's envious of that. Homer, you see it in Homer's eyes that he goes, wow.
Bowling.
You know what? I'm surprised. Like I tweeted yesterday because of the whole like Grimes Elon Musk breakup. I was like, I was like, did he call her Grimy? Is that why? So it broke up. Like that was right under everybody's noses, and I was like, how could you not see the name Grimes?
Yeah,
and then grimy, like immediately.
I bet he called her grimy.
It was too easy.
It's warped. Like I feel like a lot of cartoons have like I relate everything to either like a Simpsons episode or a South Park episode.
I have like synapses that fire off. Like anytime someone says something even remotely close to a Simpsons quote, I like have to say the quote, and then no one understands.
I have to finish it. I have to fucking finish it because somebody tweeted the whole like, well, Scooby Doo can do, but Jimmy Carter is smarter, and it was just like so. I had to do like Jay the Critic's line.
Yeah,
but it's Smartra, and people are just like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And I was like, "Bro, you're such a fake fan."
The one I tell you, the one where the critic comes to the Simpsons. That's got to be a great episode. Yeah,
absolutely.
Too.
You know, Matt Groening hated that episode when it came out.
Real?
Yeah.
That guy doesn't know what funny is. Like
he thought that they were like using the Simpsons to promote their own show, and he disliked that.
Yeah, he didn't like the crossover. Wow. It was a crappy cartoon crossover.
They kind of were.
But yeah, I to go back to the best stuff, I will ultimately say, I'll say the hockey episode with Bart and Lisa, personal favorite. Truth. Mine mostly tend to be the emotional ones, like the Bad Babysitter episode.
Yeah.
That was kind of a highlight. Bad case of bad babysitting.
Yep.
And I think the Maggie episode of like Do It For Her.
Like when Homer gets back.
And don't forget, you're here forever.
How did you feel, Tom, about the one about Australia? Did you feel they depicted
we all
your nation accurately?
Andy!
What? But I liked it. Obviously, there was a bit of rocket
like the booting was exactly what Australia does.
Do
you call bullfrogs Chazwazzers?
Absolutely.
Oh. I didn't know that.
I'm kidding you.
It's funny when you go back and you watch an episode. When you watch,
I try to go back.
When you no. Like when you watch an episode that's more recent, like in the last like 5 years, and it's just like, oh boy, Lisa's using an iPhone.
And Lady Gaga's
great.
here to tell everyone how to do it.
Yeah, it's so.
There's a thing with the Venture Brothers where every 2 years there's a 2-year break in between seasons, and so the world completely changes from all right, we've got iPhones to the time before everybody had iPhones.
Yeah,
and to see that change in the way that people communicate and the way the world works in that show is so bizarre because it's. From one episode to the next, it's like, oh, actually, all the human communication changed in that 2 years.
When they had the clip show and they did the "We'll Never Stop the Simpsons."
Oh yeah,
it's like Mo gets a cell phone.
Yeah.
Now it's literally. Which, by the way, Mose is like one of my I love. He's my favorite. Like him and Mr. Burns, I think are neck and neck.
We all know.
I think my favorite is we
all know how
Lionel Hutz.
Lionel Hutz, yes.
Yeah.
For that small amount of time that we had Lionel, it was Phil Hartman.
Yeah. R.I.P. Phil.
He was a talent.
But one of my favorite lines of his is when he's like, "Oh, that judge doesn't like me ever since I what was it? He's like, ever since I ran over his dog once.
Ran over his,
except
since I ran over his dog. And then replace the word dog with
repeatedly.
son.
Or the one that he was babysitting for Bart and Lisa and Maggie. Like, goodbye, Lionel Hutz. Hello,
Look at
Miguel
that guy on
Sanchez.
TV, that lawyer. Look at him with his tie and
it's like
suit
the realtor episode. That's when Gil, like when they first introduced Gil.
Oh, Gil.
Yeah.
Oh, lovable old
Gil is
Gil.
gonna get up and working on that house for 30 years. Gil. That's the very first time you saw Gil. Okay, no. Probably one of my, at least probably number 2 for me is Two Bad Neighbors.
Ooh.
Oh, is that the one where
that's
the
when
president
Bush
moves next
will
door?
move
yeah.
across the street.
Yeah, and he, oh, Mr. Bush.
And then that's the very first time you saw Disco Stew.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
Because they were having a block.
Disco
They
Stud.
were having
Disco
a block garage sale. They
Yard
got,
sale,
and that
right?
was
Yeah.
like disco. It was supposed to be Disco Stud, and
Yeah.
it was like, what's the odds that somebody's going to be named Disco Stew? Disco Stew, and it's just fucking fantastic. And I mean, it birthed all these. Anyway, I could probably go on.
Oh, that's like the
forever.
character of the Sea Captain.
Arrgh.
The Sea Captain
Yeah.
comes directly from
The All You Can Eat episode, right?
Oh God, Doug Attell from Dave Attell. From Dave Attell's stand-up, where he's making jokes about, the lovable old sea captain. That's one of his bits that he just, when he was writing for The Simpsons, just wrote right into the show.
That's also, that relates to one of my favorite characters, Little Petey, the little Cross the Clown looking accordion player.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's certain stuff like the Dana Gould years. You could tell there's a lot more Planet of the Apes jokes.
Oh yeah.
A lot more Star
love
Trek
you,
jokes,
Dr.
like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Can I play the
Dr. Zayas,
piano
Dr. Zayas.
anymore? Well, of course you can, but I couldn't before.
You know what I love? There's like a little bluegrass album where they do covers of like everything. They do Monorail, they do Dr. Zayas, they do Camp
Amazing.
Krusty,
Oh my
they
God.
do Who Needs a Quickie Mart. It's literally everything. And See My Vest, and of course, Stonecutters. So
Yep.
Well, actually, that actually relates to something very quickly.
Yeah, Stonecutters.
My
Stonecutters is definitely a good one. That's top tier episode.
Absolutely. But at my house, my housemate at the moment recently bought an album from a band called Dr. Colossus, and all they do is they're a rock metal band who all their songs, every single song, every lyric is in relation to The Simpsons. It's called Dr. Colossus.
That's amazing.
I found it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, wasn't Dr. Colossus like a short-lived bad guy?
Yeah,
They
it was,
made
he was a
Dr.
one-off.
Colossus at
He was
some
a
point.
one-off. He had the collapsible shoes.
When the cat
He
burglar
makes his
episode,
shoes
right?
raise up.
yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
He was like
Yeah,
in
Dr.
jail.
Colossus.
He had,
They'll
like,
never catch Dr.
I'm
Colossus.
Dr. Colossus. Whoa! And he like hits the ceiling.
It's like Fall Out Boy. Fall Out Boy is named
Yep.
after
Yeah.
Radioactive Man and Fall Out Boy.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't get sued all the hell
Want to
for
get
that.
sued? But like
Shinning.
Well, that's a great way to say it.
Speaking of music, Sam and I have a very
Wait, before we go there, I didn't give my any
Oh,
of
you
these
didn't.
episodes or seasons.
You
Charles
didn't.
kept
You
cutting
gave
him off
like
at the
number
right.
two.
Yes.
We just because we couldn't shut the fuck up about it.
3
let's go.
episodes.
Okay,
I
okay.
want to hear this. Yep.
So first of all, the best era of The Simpsons, hands down, season 4 to season 8.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think personal
No
opinion,
season 3.
the golden era is season 3 to season 9, but season 4 to season 8 is the golden era.
Yes.
It's like that is the highest tier.
I agree.
Yeah.
3, they were getting like warmed up. They weren't quite there
Yeah,
yet, but it was
season 3
warming
has
up.
like the most heart, but like season 4 is when it became like a joke every like 10 seconds.
Yes.
And it was like fire.
Yep.
And in that season has got to be one of the best episodes of the entire show, which is Last Exit to Springfield.
Yes.
Which
yes.
is dental plan.
Yes.
Yep. Lisa needs braces.
Lisa
Dental
needs-
plan. Literally, my brain.
Damn it,
The guy
let me
dropped
ruin
the
my train of
pencil down
thought.
Homer's
My
crack.
brain will take me there anytime anybody just sits there and repeats shit.
Dental
It
plan.
goes right into my. Okay, anyway, go.
Yeah, that's actually. I think we've hit on a really, really interesting point. Pop culture osmosis happens to most of The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people will know references like to Dr. Zayas is something that people got exposed to because of the Simpsons thing, and then later in life, oh yeah, that's from Planet of the Apes, and it's like the actual base material. Like we've had so much crossover.
A streetcar
with
named
content that Simpsons-
Desire.
Oh
I
my
didn't know that was a
God,
real
yeah.
ass thing.
Same,
Pop
yeah.
culture osmosis.
Yeah, there's a lot of
is.
people that don't that just have never watched like The Godfather or movies like that or The Shining. Even.
Molto bene.
Just like, I saw the
so
yeah,
like
that was your number 3.
Was
that your number 3, Sam?
It's just one of the 3. I don't know.
Okay, so what's the other 2?
He doesn't subscribe to the patriarchy of 1, 2, and 3.
It's really hard, but okay. I've always really liked the Barbershop Quartet episode. The B Sharps.
Yep.
B Sharps.
The B Sharps.
Baby on board.
The B Sharps.
The B Sharps. And they're just looking at him like, what the fuck are you doing?
I like the episode because it ends with them getting ready to shoot him off.
Yeah.
No, wait. Wait. Okay. Yeah, because that's another reference there. That was the Beatles. The Beatles on top of the Apple Shop.
Exactly.
Yeah. George Harrison drives by. It's like, that's
exactly.
Okay.
And also, I love like the album cover where it's like bigger than Jesus, and they're doing like the Abbey Road thing, but on water.
Yep.
It's so hard to pick. Honestly, like there's so many episodes that can fill in the next spot.
What about I Love Lisa? Where does that rank? Where does I Love Lisa rank for you guys?
Is that Ralph episode?
Yes, of course it is.
Oh,
there's a picture of a train.
Nothing
Little
gets
Ralph.
chocolate out.
See? I choose you.
I felt so bad for Ralph on that episode.
Yeah.
That boy he got ripped to shreds, and just like in the bar, it's like you can see in slow motion the exact moment that his heart breaks.
Yeah,
that was my moment.
I think like actually, it's how many stories from Springfield?
22
it's
short
obviously
films.
Aurora Borealis and like everything.
The
all these other
Aurora
little clips that were just fucking fantastic. They had like the bee. They had like the bee guy clip when bee guy goes home.
Yeah.
Looks like the spider caught himself a couple of flies.
Dr. Frink, he makes you laugh, he makes you think with the monkey and the Ivan.
Yeah. Oh, I love doing the Jerry Lewis voice is so much fun. Doing a Jerry Lewis even.
How did you feel about the movie when it came out versus now?
Oh,
I don't think I've seen it since it came out, honestly.
I think you need to watch it again.
So I liked it. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
My mother watched it and said that she was shocked that they showed Mark's penis.
It was great.
Little hot dog.
It's like, why wouldn't they show his penis? It's a movie. Different rules.
I thought it was all right. It was definitely a weird way of dealing with it because it was like, okay, The Simpsons are now in a long form format in that sense. Like, I think I like it, but I don't think I'd go back to
it's the same formula. Homer does something to fuck everything up and he has to fix it. You know what? Somebody had done an interview. I can't remember. They did an interview with Conan and they were like, if you had to write the final episode, what would you do? How would you end it? And he was like, Marge would just be like, you know what? I fucking can't do this anymore.
Truly.
She's just done.
Truly.
I tell you how I would end it. I would end it so that it would loop back around. It would start with them heading towards Christmas.
It's a Futurama episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Futurama wrap around.
Because the first Simpsons episodes, them going to Christmas.
They're going to Christmas.
But like the babies
what
like
happens
the Santa's little helper.
Or they're going to like
Homer doesn't get
they're
his
going to caroling or
no
something,
Homer
right?
doesn't get his Christmas bonus, so he has to be a mall Santa. And they don't have money.
Right.
And so he has to go steal a Christmas tree. And then he goes to the track as a last ditch effort. And then that's when they get Santa's little helper.
Santa's little helper.
Yeah.
Yeah, free dog.
Actually, you know what? I one of my statements back, I want to say the Bart video game episode made me cry. When
where he steals the game.
No, when he brings the photo back to his mum. Yeah. When he brings the photo back to his mum, that always makes me bust into tears.
Thrill ho.
Yeah. Or the appearance of Sonic the Hedgehog. Take it.
Oh,
yes.
Take it.
Oh, God.
It's okay, but steal it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. But that final moment when he's running upstairs and he gets yelled at and it's just like, oh.
What about the one where Lisa starts dating Nelson?
Oh, I like that one.
Bad boy.
She loves the bad boys.
She goes to his house and it's just like
nuke the whales. Gotta believe in something.
You gotta nuke something.
Yeah.
Why not nuke the whales?
You know what?
But Jen, you did cut yourself off. You want to talk about music?
I do. Sam and I have like a crazy obsession for like the same band.
Oh, okay. Drop it. I need to hear.
What's the band?
We love Weezer.
It's true.
Weezer.
We love
Okay,
Weezer.
right
How many have you seen Weezer live and how many times?
5 times.
I have you
Seen
beat.
them live 5 times.
I have you beat.
How many times?
9, baby.
Oh,
Yes.
damn.
And they
Damn.
and
Beverly
they
Hills, that's why you
always
want
More
to
and
do it.
they
times than I've
always
seen
open,
Van Halen.
It's either My Name is Jonas
Yeah.
or Perfect Situation. They never open with anything else. It's always those two.
Interesting.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know if is that the case for every time I've seen them? I don't know I don't think I've ever seen them open with Perfect Situation.
Really?
But definitely a handful of times they opened with My Name is Jonas. But the first time I saw them, it was not the first time, sorry. One of the times I saw them is when they did the Blue album in full during the Memories tour.
Oh yeah.
So they start off the show doing like B-sides and stuff. So they didn't open with My Name is Jonas.
Like Jamie.
Yeah.
I love when they play
God,
Jamie.
I
I
love that
love when they play Jamie live because it rarely ever happens. And I think I've seen it like twice, but it's beautiful.
It's
when
just very
Jamie
rare.
happens. Yes.
Very
oh
rare.
God, yeah.
Somebody do the math on that. 2 out of 9 times she saw him play the song.
Jamie,
What percentage is that?
Jamie,
I'm so glad
you're mine.
Okay, we're like dorking out over here, but I love it. I
No,
love
it's
it.
fine.
Every time.
If there's any podcast to dork out, it's this.
It's like
Let's be brutally honest.
because it's like Weezer can just keep going, and they literally just have like if you like, have you ever looked in like to how Rivers got started, Sam?
Oh yeah.
It's-
I don't know if
What a
you
road
realize
trip.
I'm an extremely
Yes.
hardcore fan of Weezer.
I just like how he got started. Like he used to be like a big like grunge guy, and he was into metal.
It was metal.
He was
Avant-garde,
super into
his
metal.
band.
And then Nirvana, like when he was working at Tower Records in Hollywood,
Yeah.
when he moved down here, like listening to Nirvana kind of shifted him a little bit.
Nirvana and Pet Sounds, yeah.
Yeah.
He got like
Oh, yeah.
hipster-fied at the time.
Yeah. So he started kind of like grunging out. And then, yeah, I mean, and it's just everything that's kind of spurted out from like the Rentals. I love the Rentals.
Mhm.
Like I can listen to that album all
I
the
like
time.
Return of the Rentals, yeah.
Yes. Like it's just, there's
And
a
I like some of the songs on the 7 More Minutes. I like the one that he wrote with Rivers. It's like
Yes.
7 more minutes to hide away.
Mhm.
Head is in the somewhere far from
So
everyone.
what's your favorite Weezer album? We've talked about this, but tell the good people.
I mean, it goes back and forth between Blue and Pinkerton mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Fair. I like Pinkerton.
Yeah,
I
they're
kind
both flawless.
I
to me.
liked the one. They had the one. It was a music video where there's the sumo wrestlers.
That's
Hash
Hash
Pipe.
Pipe. That was
Hash
from the
Pipe,
Green album.
that was a good one. I like that
Yep.
one.
That was their.
Everybody knows the Buddy Holly
I think
song.
Pinkerton holds pretty strong for me.
Yeah, it was just the 25th anniversary yesterday.
Yeah,
Actually,
I can't believe that.
Wow.
I can't believe
Yeah.
that.
Flippin' heck.
I
I have Pinkerton on vinyl. I have it on as an album on CD. I have
too.
The Pinkerton Diaries,
Mhm.
and I have a comic book about Pinkerton that someone from Montreal wrote.
What?
Real? Right
Yeah,
on.
that-
that's a really rare one. People don't know about that.
Because it was just like when they kind of started doing that, they'll do like a quote unquote color album, and then
Yeah.
they'll do like some more like indie, and they'll do some like different kind of like art style, and then they'll go back to like more of like a quote unquote mainstream color album.
Yeah,
And they just like they've kept that for like how long now? Like it's been going on for how long? But I like
30
Maladroit
years.
a lot. I know 30 years is crazy.
that's surprising. A lot of people don't like Maladroit for some reason.
I love Maladroit. I think it starts out fantastic and it just kind of keeps going. I mean, they have Keep Fishing. I mean, it's got like it's got the Muppets in the video. How could you not fucking love that? And like Miss Piggy's like trying to like fuck Pat. That's fantastic. How do you not
Oh, Patrick.
love that? Like, where's
you
Pat?
cannot resist moi.
And
That also Burnt Jam is probably one of my favorites
I
on that.
love
In
Bird Jam.
December.
Yes, and definitely Pinkerton.
The thing about Weezer is like they have so many insanely good B-sides and like demos that never really like got on a main album.
Yeah.
So it's like I almost wanted to say like my favorite album is like the 90s demos or something, like, you know?
Well, he did that. Like Rivers did like a solo album of basically just him in his garage, like doing all these unreleased Weezer albums.
Yeah,
there's
the
one
Alone albums, right?
Yeah, there's one called Blast Off that I really love.
Yep.
And
Blast off, up to the stars we go.
You know, they were playing with like Green Day and Fall Out Boy, but I'm just like, I don't want to sit
Yeah, the Hella Mega Tour.
I don't want to sit through Green Day and Fall Out Boy because I don't really like them. So,
God damn.
I would
Well,
just...
you guys, your emo phase, Jen. I'm surprised.
My emo phase? But see, the thing is like with my emo phase, I was still really into Weezer then too.
Yeah, no, Weezer invented emo.
They did. Actually, you know what? I love it when I go see bands and they do. You'll be surprised how many bands will cover Weezer songs live.
Yeah.
Dashboard Confessionals, they always do it. They always cover a Weezer song. Deftones always covers it, even if it's like half a song. Like they'll do El Scorcho or they'll do Say It Ain't So, and it's like it takes you a minute to kind of figure out like what they're doing, and they're like,
because they'll do like a long intro,
and you're like, oh shit, they're gonna do it, and then they do it, and everybody freaks the fuck out. So.
Also, just like all those bands like My Chemical Romance, Fall Out Boy, and all those bands, they all credit Pinkerton as like the inspiration for their getting into music.
Saves the Day. They wouldn't even be together had it not been for Weezer.
That's sad boy music.
It's like pathetic, like unrequited love interest music.
It's like I think even now, like relating so much, you can relate to so many things in your life.
Totally, yeah.
Especially from like Blue Album and Pinkerton.
By the way, I don't know if you know this, but like earlier this year, I didn't finish this project, but I thought it would be a great idea if I made my own Blue Album because I always wanted to write an album. So what I did was I like started picking songs from the Blue Album and writing like my own song based on those songs.
Okay.
I did one for Undone and I did one for Surf Wax America.
Oh.
They're just like shitty demos played on my I use my shitty acoustic guitar, but
I love that.
Yeah, I'll link them for you guys to hear.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Man.
Those be linked in the description.
I fucking love that. That's fucking amazing. Like,
that's amazing.
And one of them I wrote with Greg, by the way. He wrote the lyrics with me.
Aww.
Terrific.
I love it. I want to hear it now.
Shout out to our boy Greg.
Hell yeah.
Love it.
But yeah, actually, that's a great point. Like, it's some of the stuff is so emotionally tied to you that, you know, it's obviously Simpsons and Weezer is a lot of emotional moments, like, because you can tie it back to the moment that you watched it and how you felt the time, as well as looking back at the episodes. It kind of encapsulated stuff, and it's very interesting that that's happened across the board. Like, I think all the retro shows like King of the Hill, Futurama, all that stuff has emotional ties to it, and it really can immediately, like, it's like a time machine. You immediately get transported back.
I mean, I hate it. I hate it when people are like, "Oh, but that's not a personality." Like, liking those things isn't a personality. I'm like, I'm not trying to fucking say it's a personality, but it's molded a big part of me, though.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That generations were molded by the content that they were, you know, feeding upon. Because I know, like, from the outside looking in, like from like Australia, that's how a lot of us got our American references from Simpsons, from Futurama, from King of the Hill. Like, we got those references by osmosis, and then it's like, oh, we can now relate to what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
Because there's no real translation needed. It's like, oh, that's a Simpsons reference. No, that's a reference to that. I was like, okay, cool. And that's how we got through. It's really amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really like a culture shaping sort of thing. Like, especially The Simpsons. Especially The Simpsons.
Oh, yeah.
I think that, I remember someone was saying this. I don't remember where I heard this. But they were like, because like a lot of professors in university are like Gen X. So there was someone was saying like, oh, if you want to get on your professor's good side, just tell him a Simpsons joke.
That's fucking. That's probably bang on. Actually,
it's the same rule to how to get a wing retweet. Just like any Simpsons reference, like, you're fucking golden. But you can't.
I'm gonna try that later.
You literally can't just throw in anything. Like, it has to be good. But you have to kind of know to be able to like throw in a reference. Like, I can't remember what it was. I found some picture of like it's a claw machine, but it's like live lobsters.
Oh.
So I took a picture of that.
They have those at
and
some
then
places.
The next picture was Homer cuddling Pinchy. I mean, and it's like it's so fucking perfect. So you have to.
I thought you were gonna say Otto getting the lobster harmonica
Pinchy.
from the claw machine.
No.
Oh, yes.
That's good. That's good. But Pinchy, has a special place in my heart, like forever.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
I found.
He went to a better place.
I found the video of it. Holy shit! This is kind of fucking buck wild.
Yeah.
They've bounded up their arms so they can't fight back against the claw machine.
I'm gonna get my
Homer thought. Why?
That's in podcast context.
Did Homer think giving Pinchy a hot bath was going to work out? Why did he do that? How stupid can Homer be?
Pinchy would have wanted
How
it
stupid.
The little butter sauce.
Yeah, he's the only one eating
somebody
Pinchy
posted like, could you eat like something cute with the face that you raised, or could you eat like a cow that you raised? And then I just I replied with a picture of Homer crying eating Pinchy. like yes, I can.
There was somebody that lived near an uncle of mine that had a pet pig, and they ended up eating that pig
before they ate it.
I imagine they did. They had it for years, Jen.
How can they kill it when they've had it for years? So okay, I don't think I can do. I don't think I can do that.
Also, a singular cow is weird.
Savagery.
A singular cow by itself is weird.
Okay.
It should be like a herd. Otherwise, it's weird. Kind of a weird contextual moment there.
Speaking of killing, like a pig or whatever, like if you think that's weird, yesterday I was at my friend's place and we were somehow the topic of like, the whole Texas banning abortion thing came up, and someone said something along the lines of like, I really have a problem with like when it's really late abortion, when like the baby could live outside the womb, like it shouldn't be aborted. And then my other friend goes, if it's like 1 or under, you could just kill it. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, moms should just be able to kill 1-year-olds. I was like, are you insane?
They actually have a thing called was it partial birth abortion?
Partial birth,
where they like sort of that's like a real thing where like the baby's born and they're like,
the reason and people like the reason why they don't do late term. It's more of like an infection risk than anything, because if you're trying to suck something out without actually surgically cutting it out, there's more room for error and there's more room for you're gonna bleed out. That's honestly the reason why they won't do them late term. It doesn't really have anything to do with like the baby itself. It's just the infection risk and and bleeding risk and all of that. That's the only reason why they do it.
I always think of that. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're fine.
Sorry. I'm gonna check now. Time. The partial birth thing is actually it's not a medical term. It's a dilation and extraction is the medical term for that. Yeah. So that, just for clarification.
A dilation extraction.
Extraction. Yeah.
Whenever I think of like late term abortions, I always think of that like Joe Rogan episode when Alex Jones was on, and he's like talking about the heart. We're just gonna make him comfortable, Joe. We just want to make him comfortable. Like I just always think of him saying,
"Just make him comfortable, Joe. Just gonna make him comfortable. We got the documents. We got the photographs.
That's a good Alex Jones impression. Jesus,
I know he's so good at that shit. It's scary. I kind of think he secretly is. That's why he puts the mask on. Like one of the days he's gonna be like mask off, and we're gonna find out it's fucking Alex Jones the whole time. I swear to God. But like,
laughs in Alex Jones.
What do you think about our boy Alex?
He's like probably one of the greatest entertainers of all time.
Yes, I agree. Because that's what he is.
Alex Jones is a character. There's no such thing as Alex Jones.
Thank you. He's not a person. He's literally the greatest meme of a man.
He's the potato guy from Doctor Who, whatever it's fucking called.
And let me tell you, he was bae like when he was younger. Like I'm not even gonna lie. Like wood. Hello.
I don't even think he looks that bad right now, honestly.
Southern boy.
I mean, he's got he's rugged looking now.
How old is he?
He looks like a Sultaran from Doctor Who, the weird potato man.
He's got to be in his 50s, right?
Yeah. Oh, guys, let's check it out. Alex Jones, age. You have to cut him down to see how old he is.
Alex Jones is actually over 9,000 years
47.
old.
Holy shit.
No
he looks bad for 47.
He's 47?
He looks bad for 47.
He looks
real bad.
He looks 10 years older.
Yeah.
He was going to say he looks like
doing a lot of
57. Motherfucker looks rough.
He fell into the wrong pond at like Bohemian Grove or some shit. And it aged him like 7 years. Holy shit.
Bro.
It's the same. It's the same pond that Biden bathes in.
Exactly.
Oh God! What is that
Is it the water that makes you older?
He fell into the water that makes
somebody
the frog
posted
gay.
some picture on Twitter. I think like last week or the week before. I don't remember. Where it was like he looked like he had some kind of like almost like rubber mask on, where it was like kind of like peeling like on the sides. Biden.
What the heck?
I could not figure out what the fuck it was, because I was like, because sometimes like when people think like, oh, you know, they have this, and then you find out it's just like they're old, so they're wearing a hearing aid, or when everybody said that Trump had O2 on, which they probably sent him home with supplemental O2, which is not something that's uncommon, but they were like, oh, he was wearing oxygen the whole time. I was like, no, he fucking wasn't. Like, I could just tell he wasn't, because there was no nasal cannula. There's no way to really hide that shit. So and anytime these like conspiracies like come out where I'm like, no, I don't see it. But for the life of me, I cannot figure out what the fuck is going on with Biden's face. And as somebody
I'll tell you what it is, Jen.
Somebody that messes with people's faces like for a living, I can't figure it out. And it's actually driving me crazy. I'm like, why? Why?
I guess
turns out he's from Mars.
I get to divert on here because this happened recently in Australia. Because at the moment we're having the Melbourne protests, and one of the things that me and my housemate have been absolutely loving is watching a channel that's been collaborating all the footage of the protesters on the ground. Mm-hmm. And we recently had the earthquake on Wednesday, and I heard legitimately from one of these Karen cunts saying, "Did Dan Andrews explode an EMP above ground to cause the earthquake?" And I almost my brain detonated. That's full conspiracy shithead.
Well, listen, you know, EMPs are a real thing.
Absolutely.
Like,
but they cause fucking earthquakes
EMP
above
off.
ground and detonate below it. Like, that just, the logical line does make sense. It's like, hey, Slush, my car can fly because I put a can of beans in the back. I mean, I'm just saying, it just works.
I believe you.
Thank God.
Is it Bush's baked beans?
You know.
Roll that beautiful bean pudding.
Oh, yes. Oh God, that's beautiful. But yes, I think one thing I did want to talk with you, Mr. Slush, and I think you're one of the only people who have actually had the nuts to do it. Is the Dr. K episode that you did on your channel?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
matey.
Not about the store brand soda, Dr. K.
Yeah, someone had to say something about that damn soda.
Exactly, but matey, I was rewatching it today, and I think not a lot of people on YouTube would have done it, and I'm glad you did, because I think it talks about a lot of topics in regards to what is therapy and should we do therapy live for entertainment. That's and the whole supplementary content you did afterwards. I think a lot of people really needed to hear that, and I think we're at the forefront of the whole Twitter shit that you got.
Personal boundaries when it comes to a professional saying, "I'm here for you," but wait a minute, maybe not quite like that.
Yeah, they're not really there for you.
So how do you feel about the aftermath of the episode? How do you feel that people have? Obviously, you've had the episode with Some Ordinary Gamer and the live conversation that you had on the channel. So how do you feel later on now? What's the current thoughts at the moment?
My thoughts are, so like obviously the reception to the video was not too positive. If you look at it right now, it's got like 1,000 more dislikes than it does have likes.
Which you did expect that.
Yeah, I did. I knew it was going to be controversial. My goal in mind was like, okay, if I can there's going to be people who are going to be biased towards the two different sides, and there's going to be people in the middle who are like understanding of nuance. If I can expand that middle group to be a bigger than usual, then I've done my job. Absolutely. Have I done that?
I think you absolutely did. You absolutely did.
I hope so. It's hard to tell, because the thing is that I think that the people who are going to speak up are the ones who feel like one type of way, you know, especially the ones who are upset. Those are the ones who are most likely to comment. So I don't know how many people out there are that agreed with the fact that I put out the video. The way I see it is I've heard the bulk of the criticisms. I don't really care that people think that the tone of the video like Destiny himself was like, oh, the music choice really made it seem like Dr. K killed Reckful, and I think that's stupid.
Okay, here's the thing: when he was streaming that, when he was watching, he wasn't even fucking paying attention.
He wasn't paying attention.
He was playing a game.
Destiny
He was pissed off because he was playing some bullshit RPG, and he wasn't even fucking paying attention. So I disregard him and everything that he said about it because he wasn't even there.
Destiny's a full Gronk. I don't care for him at all. He doesn't give a shit about it. He only wants to, the whole lineup. But my apologies. You continue.
Yeah.
Well, when we talked, it felt like he was agreeing with me on almost everything I said in our discussion. Like when I got on his stream after.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But and his like main criticisms were like the tone, and that he was saying that like to bring up the reincarnation thing was such a meme argument and so stupid.
Yeah,
and
that was so fucking dumb. Like that's
him, right?
Just, you were literally people missed the point completely because all you were doing was posing the question, what if?
Yeah. Like I'm just saying that like to me it's like, okay, first of all, like it's incredibly I don't care if like Destiny doesn't agree with me here. Like it's incredibly irresponsible to tell a suicidal person, I believe reincarnation is real. Especially when you're coming from a place of authority to this person.
Exactly.
Like that's just like,
yeah, you don't tell a nut that everything's gonna work out, brother. Here's a gun, go do it.
Yeah, and like I've heard some people they say like, well, what he's trying to say is like the Buddhist sense of reincarnation. Even if he dies and comes back in his next life, these problems are going to carry over. And like, I can kind of see the point they're making there, but I still think it's irresponsible to bring it up and that you just shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And the problem, and I said this pretty clearly, I felt in the video is I say like, no, I don't think that this caused Reckful to kill himself. In fact, I think it's likely the case that it has nothing to do with that. However, as a medical professional, there shouldn't be this possibility created where Reckful could have taken that as inspiration. Yeah. It's just unprofessional and unethical to put that on the table.
Yeah.
And I agree to that point as well. There's another one that came up, which was, you're trying to deal with the issues that happened to you, to the 5-year-old you.
Yeah.
And you're not allowed to die essentially until that's all sorted. And it's like,
yeah, no, it was you can die when you do what you need to do for that 5-year-old. That's what he said.
That was exactly. Immensely a bad thing to say.
I honestly
was upset by that.
And you weren't. This wasn't a hit piece on Dr. K. This wasn't something you did. You said, "Hey, he does a lot of great work. He's done a lot of great work for a lot of people." But
everybody
this is where
part.
he did fuck up because when he offered himself, but then like retracted it like in the next conversation because he realized he like kind of overstepped when he overcommitted to kind of being there for him.
Yeah, I'm gonna love you for 2 years or like.
Yeah, and he had to kind of backtrack on that like the next time they spoke. Like,
and it didn't even work. Like,
right?
He was like, "Oh, I talked to Reckful and we clarified that it wasn't therapy." And Reckful's just like, "Yeah." So during that time when we talked, during that therapy, not therapy.
Therapy.
If it walks like a duck,
right?
Yeah, that's all. You could try to label it all you can, but if it's something that closely mimics it, how is the person that's troubled? How are they supposed to deal with that? Like the person that's giving out the help and the advice can easily disassociate.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But the person that's troubled and getting the help and seeking out the help and seeking out, they can't do that. They're not in a place where they can do that. So that's where I had a problem. That's where I have a problem with those quote unquote therapy, but not therapy sessions.
See, I'll tell you what I don't like about them. I don't like that online therapy and stuff like that is recorded and could potentially be used against somebody. Whether that's in a court of law where somebody's admitted to a crime or whether that's just footage leaking out of somebody saying something, they probably shouldn't have said. That's the Scientology thing. They want everybody to admit to everything on tape.
So they have dirt on them.
And
they do that so they have dirt on you. Yeah. So it's like if you fuck up, they can blackmail you. But as far as
the Dr. Case, Dr. Case situation, like, it's I think Slush, you mentioned many times, like he does a lot of great work, but it's a lot of it's misguided for the most part because obviously I think midway through your video you talk about Dr. K saying, the people can't have therapy from a family member or a friend because the bond there is essentially distorted because you're still emotionally tied, and having
it's a different relationship.
Exactly, and then Wreckful looking at Dr. K as somebody on the same platform working together. I could definitely see that it really muddies the water beyond belief. That what point is entertainment?
Like I think even without, it's like I didn't really talk about the whole content creation aspect of what Dr. K does, but like it's already unclear if Wreckful is seeing him as his doctor or his friend or both, and how Dr. K's viewing Wreckful. It's very confusing already. And then there's that whole element which I didn't even bother. I purposely tried to avoid arguments that I had in my arsenal that felt like character attacks. So I didn't want to talk about, Dr. K's a content creator. How does that affect his motivations? Like at the end of the day, these are two content creators. And it's obvious if you watch Dr. K's channel. I don't know if he still does this, but if you watch most of his one-on-one conversations with people, it always, there's how YouTube videos have that later in the video segment at the beginning.
Yeah.
So his later in the video segment is always some really deep emotional thing. Look at this breakthrough I got. So it's
that might just be the advertisement aspect of it. Like Mythbusters used to do that a lot, where they tease you coming in.
But the point I'm making is that there's this question, is he going in there with the goal of getting that moment so that he can use it as a hook? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I mean, I want to believe that he isn't, but you have to wonder.
But it's hard. But when you use that as a kind of a selling point for people to stick around for the whole video, you have to question his motives in that situation where you're you know what, that's and it's the same thing. I was watching, I think it was it was a TikTok, but it was on the YouTube Shorts, and it was of a plastic surgeon talking about how when women come to him and say, hey, I'm unattractive, I've had kids, I need to be rebuilt. And he's kind of using that whole their anguish as you're so beautiful, but I'm still gonna fucking do this surgery because I'm gonna make money off of you. It's the same thing. So it's
it's a whole element of the whole.
So there was a TV show. There's a TV show about I'm gonna say 10 years ago called Celebrity Rehab here in America. I don't know if Slush caught that one. I know Jen probably caught it. It's a Dr. Drew program. Dr. Drew was the lead guy on the show, trying to help people at a rehab center. And it showed a little bit of them doing therapy. I think China was on there, the wrestler, maybe one of the bald ones.
Let's just say a lot of people that were on this eventually OD'd.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Jeff Conway was on there, and Jeff Conway was he's 3/4 of the way gone. He's all gnarled up in a wheelchair. He's, however old he was, 60. He was an older guy doing dope, and, he's pretty far gone. So at what point do you go, well, these are sick people dying of a disease. The disease is what killed them, not how could people, everybody wants to throw that in Dr. Drew's face. Oh, look, Jeff Conway's dead. You couldn't help him. Gee, you don't think he thought of that? Gee, you don't think Dr. Drew's a little upset that a guy he tried to help died?
Yeah.
You got to look at it from that angle, too.
Absolutely.
Well, Dr. Drew's trying to do a show, but the show is, this is a version of what this sort of thing looks like trying to help people, trying to get the word out. You go in for so many days. I think it's was it 21 days, 28 days, something like that.
That in theory, it's the motive, because it would be all fine and dandy if helping these people was the actual motive of the show. And I'm not saying that wasn't the I don't want to say that wasn't the motive of Dr. Drew ever. I don't believe that. But at the same time, VH1's motive was to not help people. They were trying to get views. Absolutely. They were trying to make money. Right. And the downfalls, they're going to edit it to look like shit. They were not human beings at all. You cannot videotape somebody at their lowest of lows and look at their behavior and say, well, look, I mean, you can't do stuff like that.
It's a freak show.
Absolutely, it's a big train wreck. You can't stop watching. And yeah, you're right. And some of these people, OD'd, and some of these people had drug-related problems where it caused them to get other ailments from their drug use, and they ended up succumbing to that. But at the end of the day, it's like that was no motive. Celebrity rehab. I mean, when you use the word celebrity in anything,
I think they ended up
automatically
just doing a version that was just rehab, just like dope heads, of just bringing people in. But I don't know. I didn't catch any of that. I watched a little bit of that first season. Was like, oh my god, this is the absolute end of reality show TV.
It's like intervention. Like I think
the emotional version of bum fights, essentially.
When A&E started intervention.
It's a lot of that, because intervention is, hey, look at us helping this girl who huffs duster all day and her family.
We're gonna do an intervention, and we're gonna make her go to rehab, and then we're gonna film her trying to get quote unquote one last fix on her and then you cut
to mean guys cutting it to I'm walking on sunshine and she's huffing duster.
I will say that with Dr. K, like I really do think like his intention is to help people.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it's his sole intention necessarily, but like I definitely think he cares a lot about helping people. And that he believes in what he does. I think that like the problem with what he does comes from, it's simply that he's like breaking new ground by pushing the boundaries so far, and like that's good in a sense because we need that. But it's also
where do you draw the line?
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's scary and dangerous because you're talking about people's mental health, and it bothered me severely that no one was talking about that. It was good to bring up. They're only
it's good
seeing
for you to bring it up
side.
And ask the question and raise your hand and go, hey man, is this the right thing to do? Like whether or not like Dr. K hears that goes, maybe I am doing the wrong thing. Maybe that's a concern to talk with people about.
Do you think people have avoided bringing up this topic because they're afraid of the hate?
Some people can't handle heat. Some people hear like say like Alex Jones. Alex Jones is a lightning rod. Alex Jones talks so much stuff.
Well, what I don't understand is why nobody else can see that, can see the blurred lines, the gray area when you're doing something like this. And what I honestly didn't understand is when the video came out, like so many people ready to pan it because they were like already like, oh, this is a hit piece. But like, no, you got to look at it from this standpoint. Like you're not saying
we all saw it. We all saw it in real time. Like, and you posted the tweet, and we all saw it all go down.
Yeah,
because people have emotional ties to both Wreckful, Dr. K, the mental health scene on Twitch. It was a power kick, but I think you executed
I thought it was good video
extremely
too,
well.
Man. Like you really put your heart into it.
You put the amazing search reason. Yeah, you put the research into the whole the family itself and the medical community going into it, and I think a lot of people would have fucking just not done that. I'm very grateful.
That's our boy.
I think you don't get enough praise for that.
Over on YouTube. Thank you. Everybody like and subscribe.
No. So my apology. It is youtube.com/TV.
/TV.
Correct.
Yeah. Our boy.
/TV. Exactly. We'll make sure that.
But like, how did you feel the first 12 hours after you released it, Sam?
Absolutely.
Let's see. I think I was the initial reception was probably the warmest part, because that was like my subscribers watching it, and like my subscribers are they had enough faith in me from like the previous content that I've made to like at least hear me out, and I think that like so that part wasn't so bad. But it just kept getting worse after that. Like it seemed like after that it kept getting like recommended to Dr. K's audience, and
that's when the heel boils up.
It really started to just become.
That's when it turned.
It kind of made me like. I mean, I don't know why I had any respect at all for this, but it made me lose respect in like just people commenting on the internet in general. Because I was just like,
you started getting a lot of really cancerous comments on there.
Yeah,
where it was
I was like astounded at how like dense some of the people were. I was like, are you watching the video?
I can tell you right now, people aren't watching the video.
I do not think some of those people made it through. I remember after I finished watching the video and I left a comment. It's great. It's just too bad a lot of people aren't going to get the point. And I had immediately so many people, replying underneath going, so what is the point exactly? It's like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah, people are dumb.
Off, come on, man. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think one of the last things we'll say about this is Destiny can shut the fuck up about music. God damn, what a cunt. I'll say it. I'll be the one who says it.
The tone of your video, there was nothing wrong with it. There was nothing
I've
awesome
gone through all the video and all of that. It's fucking bad music. And that upsets me because you know why? None of those motherfuckers ever thought of that for themselves. They just saw it and Destiny came over and
Slush
commented
does documentaries use music. Kiss my ass, Destiny. I look in the camera and say it.
The funniest thing is that, and I did this intentionally, is that the darkest piece of music that I use during the mistakes section, which is where I'm pointing out the stuff like the reincarnation and just specific examples of things that I felt were irresponsible. I used the same music that I used in my Wreckful documentary when I was praising Dr. K. Because I have a section where I'm talking about, at the end of the documentary, I talk about how Wreckful had all these mental health problems. And this is, of course, when Wreckful's still alive. And then I talk about how Dr. K kind of swooped in and helped him. And I'm using the same music. But, when I did it in this context, apparently it's I'm being manipulative and evil. But
people don't understand how motifs work in music and how documentaries work.
I want to know how Destiny even heard the music with his head so far up his ass. Sorry.
Boom. Boom.
Yeah, also if you watch the reaction video, it's hard to even hear the music from my video because there's music from Darkest Dungeon playing.
And he's sitting there bitching about the fucking game. Oh, so if there's one hit, my whole fucking party hits. He was literally bitching about the game. He wasn't even paying attention. It just makes me mad when I think back on it because I was watching it going, he's not even fucking listening. And then he wants to be well, yeah. And then
I'll say it.
Makes me really
Destiny's
mad if I think about it again.
He's a punk bitch. He's a punk
totally
bitch.
jabroni. He's talking.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Slush, I know you have to be a lot more diplomatic in how this is handled because obviously we're just a bunch of fucking
challenge.
I think Destiny's an asshole. I 100% will say I think he's an asshole. And I actually have a friend who he fucked over my friend who ran his subreddit way back in the day. There was this whole thing where my friend was gonna give him the subreddit for free. He was like, "Oh, take." He was like, "Oh, I'm the owner of your subreddit. Just message me and I'll give it to you, access or whatever, so you can own it." And then someone impersonated my friend and asked Destiny for money. And then Destiny reached out to my friend instead of the person who impersonated my friend and offered my friend $2,000 for the subreddit. And then a few days earlier, Destiny was talking about if anyone ever offers you money, always ask for more. So my friend's I guess I'm asking for more. So he asked for more, and then his Reddit account got deleted because you're not allowed to sell subreddits. There was entrapment, kind of.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't. He just his whole community and Destiny just would not believe my friend was telling the truth, except for his friend Mr. Moon. It's the only person who believed him.
These master debater guys are they're it'd be the sort of thing I'd like to see a Slush video about. The work that they do.
Why does everything everything have to be a fucking debate?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, can't you just talk to somebody?
Completely agree.
Why does it? Everybody on the fucking internet does this. The fucking commentary community does this shit. Not everything has to be a goddamn debate. Put your tiny balls away, okay? Nobody fucking cares. It turns into a pissing match. It has nothing to do with the actual point itself.
It's all about people doing the no. Let me talk. No.
Oh my god.
That's what debates are. It's a lot of that. Yeah. Calling one another fat and stupid.
Yeah. Somebody else. The loser always starts going down to insults when they know they're out of gas. But if you're having an actual just discussion and conversation, it's not going to result to that because it's not a pissing match and it doesn't need to be.
It's audio wojacking. It's audio wojacking as well. Exactly. But you know what? I will say, if you're looking for great documentaries, go to youtube.com/SlushTV for a terrific array of content. If you're a fan of Twitch, the platform itself, amazing content on that, including I think one of the most heartfelt documentaries I've seen a long time in regards to Rectal,
Yeah, Slush
which I
does
think Slushy did an amazing job.
Documentaries, man. Like for people not to watch his stuff is a crime. You got to see this stuff. You got to watch it.
Yeah.
Next project when?
Exactly.
So yeah. Well, okay, but part of me wants to just like drop everything I was doing and make a video about this book. But,
Absolutely.
I love it.
Well, I was so like I kind of want to do like a series of videos on spirituality.
Sounds good, brother.
Because like the first thing I wanted to do was like a thing about like kind of looking at like the ridiculousness of new age spirituality, but then kind of like tie that into the more deeper shit that's going on of like the existential void that is like left by atheism and how people are trying to fill it.
I don't like
and stuff like that
is the people that turn atheism into its own religion. They worship being an atheist.
That's a hilarious
like you see guys
thing
like
that's happened, right?
Where everything is look how great it is because I'm an atheist. Atheism became their Jesus. Yeah,
amazing atheist.
TJ does a little bit of that. Like there's a lot of guys who do that. That they just keep proselytizing how great it is not to believe in shit.
Or they like pick a different thing to turn into their religion, climate change or gender or like whatever it is, you know.
It's still at the end of the day, no matter what they do, it's still a cope.
Totally.
Everyone's coping. Everyone's coping their own way.
They're doing what they are accusing everybody else of doing. Just in a different way.
Exactly. So I kind of want to do a video about that. And then I also now I want to do a video about this book. I don't know if that's related to spirituality or not. And then I was going to do like a more jokey video somewhere in between where I was just going to like try all these ridiculous trends like reality shifting and remote viewing. And
I'll ask you
I found
astral projection because that's real because I've done that.
Oh my God, we need to do that. We need to do that. We need to do that next month.
I will not be participating in
VidCon
projection again.
The reality shifting stuff.
We need to do that. We need to do that shit next month.
Like I keep all my
I'm down.
outside the house.
Maybe throw some DMT in there, honestly.
Like yeah.
Let's fucking do it.
Jen, what are you working on, matey?
I'm trying to work on stuff, but I'll get something out. I'll get something out soon again.
That's
probably,
right.
Maybe
That's right.
maybe next week. I don't know.
Right on.
Well, brother, let me tell you, mask_bastard. I'm everywhere. I'm posting memes, spreading love.
Exactly.
We just wrapped up our big year-long D&D campaign over on twitch.tv/CharlesCon because I am Charles Con, the Masked Bastard. We'll be rolling out some content soon on the YouTube channel. So everybody like and subscribe to that.
Ooh, nice.
Absolutely. Well, I'm working on Cyberpunk stuff at that Cyberpunk show, but I think the best way to take care of yourself in the future is make sure, if you're feeling bad, reach out to the right services. I know this is like Captain Virtual signaling now. But
people are out there
take care of yourself. I know everyone's going to go for a rough time.
Even if it's just hopping on Discord, talking with the boys holding court. Like there's a room somewhere with somebody in it that you can talk to at some point. You're not alone out there.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I will say, if you're looking for something to make you have a big smile, Slush's video on the Sonic fan game, the Inspired the video.
Oh God, yes.
Check it out. Check it out.
Yes.
That's definitely check that out. But Slush, a big thank you for coming on and having a chat with us.
Thank you for having me.
Man.
This is great.
Love Slush.
Had a great time.
Absolutely. And check out the Gush
our boy Glink and
exactly.
Slush have a podcast together called Gush.
Glink and Slush, they have Bursted the Gush, and they just have like the coolest, chillest little thing over there, and you need to go check it out because they have really awesome guests as well.
Absolutely. And yes, so that's youtube.com/Gush podcast, all capitalized. But you know what? Why don't you stay safe and stay weird, and we'll catch you.
Bye.
Bye.